What's up, everybody? Figured today I'm gonna try and record a little video, see how long it goes. Try and put some positivity back out there for Marathon. Right? Sometimes I'm gonna end up kind of ranting here a little bit because it is very frustrating. Holy shit! Alright, all I've seen is just negativity towards Marathon. And just yet again, people hopping on that bandwagon like, yes, let's be negative. Like, oh my god, yes, this is what we're doing. We're talking bad about the game. Oh, they went from Halo and Destiny and now we got this, right? It's unbelievable, right? And I just do not want, right, another game that I enjoy to just be killed because of the issue that lies here that goes further than gaming, right? In my opinion, gaming community has been really fucked, right? Like we don't have much, right? And a lot of it is self-destructive behaviors, right? People actually trying to just destroy something for literally no reason, right? I know the reason, but what it comes down to is we have Marathon, right? This game, this world, right? It's amazing. Right? Let's first, we can talk about like UI. People want to complain about the UI, right? A lot of times, if you just spend 5-10 hours playing this, you'll understand it, right? Here's your shells. Boom, you get the shells instantly, right? You can swap through your shells, right? It tells you what their traits are. You just got to read, right? People don't like reading. So you like to read, right? Boom, there's reading. We got our loadout. Here's your baseline stats, right? Not that hard. Boom, baseline stats. You sit on it for a second. It tells you exactly what it does, right? These baseline stats can get increased, right? If we go here, and then look, boom, we're at factions, right? We went straight to the factions page, right here. Boom, okay, this one's going to increase my agility by plus 20. This is baseline across the board for all of your shells, right? Another 20, 20, 20, right? So you got all these different upgrades to these different factions. You can just cycle through here, right? UI-wise, let's go through this, right? You have your armory. This is your vendors. This is where you purchase from. Each faction's going to end up having different things that they offer. You'll get an idea of that from their upgrade trees, right? And like what it is that they give, right? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this looks like weapons and attachments. All right, makes sense. So now we go back, right? The other items too that are here for sale, the ones at the top, you barter with your salvage to be able to receive this item, right? Here, you purchase, use credits, right? I mean, boom, straightforward. This is your vault. First time I have ever seen this in a game. You can cycle through your vault filter with WNS. I can use my mouse here and just cycle with WNS, right? To me, that's amazing. I love that, right? I haven't seen that in any other game. There's so many factors here, right? When it comes to the UI, it's pretty straightforward, right? It just takes about 5-10 hours of playing the game to actually just know what the pictures are, right? Everyone's getting overwhelmed. And do you know why you're all getting overwhelmed, right? It's because there's this new thing that they're doing, right? This is something new that they are creating, and for some reason the general public just wants to remove it, right? You people just want to destroy it and take it away, right? It is new. Just put in the time. Just put in the time. It takes 5-10 hours and you just know what the images are. You don't have to highlight over it and read it anymore. You just see the image and you're like, okay, yeah, I know what all of these things are. Oh, okay, well, I do have some cores here. I now have to highlight over it to know what the core does, right? And it just comes down to is you just have to put in a little bit of time. Here with the implants, right? You see here, right, this is a leg implant because on the box it shows the legs highlighted. I don't even have to go any further than that, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't have a leg implant. This is a leg implant, right? Or you can come down here and you can change what's actually showing. Now it shows the legs, now it shows the shield, now it shows the helm, right? It shows the chest. So it just comes down to is that it's there. You just have to put the time in, right? It's there. My issue is if you don't like something, you just move on, right? If you have a relationship and you end up with an ex, okay? You don't try to just put in all your effort into destroying that ex's life afterwards, right? That's not a thing. That is unbelievably unhealthy. That's not what you do. If you were like, oh yeah, Marathon's not for me, all right, then just go play something else. You don't have to sit here and spend hours of your day just trying to shit on something and putting out constant content that just goes with the general public to reaffirm what they are already thinking, right? It, to me, is incredible, right? You have to be an incredible individual to be a game developer, modern game developer, right? 2020s and beyond. It is such an issue that people get to think that they can say whatever they want to game devs with zero repercussions. Zero repercussions, right? If it was 20 years ago, you just dealt with it. You literally just dealt with it. You didn't get to have access to the game devs, right? You didn't get to think like, oh, I'm going to tell them how I feel and, they'll hear me out and, it'll be red and I'll feel better, right? These are grown fucking men, all right? You're grown fucking men. Let's be honest here, right? You come home, you just emotionally vomit all over your family, your loved ones. You put the headset on, and then you don't get what you were expecting from Marathon, and you think it's Marathon's fault, and you think it's the game developer's fault. So then you're like, oh, I'm gonna destroy that, right? I'm gonna be a part of the other group that doesn't like that, and I'm gonna remove it, right? So then you spend your time doing that, right? Incredibly unhealthy, right? You can literally just move on. There's a game for you. Trust me, there is a game for you, right? But if you just keep trying to take away the games that are in the community here that people do enjoy playing, right? We are not going to have games left, right? They're going to be absolute dog shit, right? There is nothing to play. If I can sit here and I know, right, we have an extraction shooter. Marathon is amazing, right? The game world is amazing, right? Once you learn the UI and you get the images down, it's amazing, right? The aesthetic is beautiful. The art is amazing, right? Realism is there. If it's raining, right, you cool faster. If you sit in the water, right, you cool faster. If you crouch, you cool faster, right? The elements are there. It's just aesthetically beautiful, right? We don't have a futuristic game like this. It doesn't exist, right? This is a PvP futuristic game, all right? You want, let's say PvE. We'll talk about that first. You want the PvE to be easier. It's too hard, right? I'm not seeing enough players, right? I would say hands down in the first day, had maybe at least 60 LMs, right? You just aren't finding the players, right? They are dying to the PvE shit first, or they're being rushed, right? People play extraction shooters very slow. Are you people like to sit, you like to wait, you like to crouch, you like to not make noise. All right, if you're trying to play the game to not make noise, you're going to run into issues, because if you're not even using your weapons to fight the PvE shit because you're worried about not making noise, you will just die to the PvE shit, right? So you have to actually make noise, right? This isn't Hunt Showdown. You're not going to have this patience check that occurs. And this is why Marathon is amazing, right? I'm going to say it another 100 times, right? I'm going to put it out there. There's so much negativity towards the game, but if you're trying to play this shit slow like a typical extraction shooter, and you don't want to make noise, and you're worried about people rushing you, right? That's the idea. They want to have the faction quests to be in the same area, they want the people to be doing the same faction quests, or they want them to be farming the salvage in the same areas. That way it forces fights to occur, right? There's also anti-camping mechanics that are in place with reinforcements, right? And the little events that occur. If you stay in an area too long, right? The concept is there, right? If you don't enjoy PvP games, fuck off. That's that simple, right? I think the PvE players who are like, I want a PvE game, just go play a single player game. What are you doing? Go play a single player game, or go play a co-op game with your friends. Right? You don't have to sit here and try and ruin this and take this from the people that are enjoying it. Right? That's the biggest thing here, is that there's this jealousy that occurs. People think, oh, well, other people are having fun with this, but I didn't have fun, so it must not be me, right? I must not be the problem. I can't be dog shit at the game. It must be the game developers. It must be the game itself. I need to have this affirmation that occurs with all of the other 80% of the loud voices that are occurring, and we're gonna, feel a lot better about ourselves, right? That is what is happening. Right? If you like militaristic shooters, go play Tarkov. There's a game for you. If you want to play a game with a very cool aesthetic, right, a little bit slower paced, right, you get to actually have your patience checks. If you want to sit in a building for 45 minutes with a shotgun, that's an option too. You can go play Hunt Showdown, right? I have 1,000+ hours on Hunt Showdown. I love Hunt Showdown, right? But the game has its flaws. Also, minimum of 80% of your games are going to have cheaters in them. Right? The game is just turned into rush the building, set up traps, play tower defense, right? If you want to come into the building, you're going to deal with shotguns. It's not a fun gameplay loop, right? It's trash, it's poop, right? But the aesthetic is there, and it's like something people would like to go back to, right? And it hits a niche spot for a lot of people, right? If you want to play more of a PvE game, just go play Arc Raiders, right? I'm really hoping that the game devs here, right, Bungie, you guys don't lean into and do an issue that I've seen a lot of the time, is trying to cater to too many groups at one time, right? Changing your idea for the game and what you had, right? The vision for it to try and cater to the PvE players and the PvP players and give that like, oh, well, I'm going to lean one way more this way, right? And it's always the PvE players that are the loudest voices, right? It always is, right? PvP players, most of the time, just playing the fucking game, having fun, doing their thing, right? They enjoy it. Right? If you were a PvP player and you actually played Arc, you probably stopped within the first month, right? I stopped after day 2, right? I saw the interp that was occurring. I realized, hey, this is built as a PvE game, which means that the server tick rate is probably very low, right? If it's built as a PvE game, instantly I know tick rate shit, desync's gonna be there, right? I died when I was 7 feet behind cover, right? Instantly on day 2, I just stopped playing. I uninstalled that shit. Wasn't for me, right? You just move on, right? You try and point that out to others, like I did, and no one wants to listen. And then they find out 3 months down the road, right? And they're like, oh, these are problems, right? But you're gonna have a game for you. You just shut the fuck up and you go play that game. Right? You don't have to sit here and be like, I'm gonna take it out on the game devs. I'm gonna let the community know. I'm gonna argue with everybody. Right? There is a massive issue in the gaming community for the last 12 years. Right? I think personally, gaming became mainstream in 2014. So if we think it became mainstream in 2014, right, or I do at least, that was when people were like, hey, I want to be a streamer. Right? There's no more like closet gamers, right? You went from being a closet gamer and being like, yeah, you know, I play video games, to like, yeah, I play video games, I stream, right? So when the general public got involved with gaming and it became a lot more mainstream, right, things really shifted. Hacking became a huge problem, like 2013, 2014 and beyond, right? Hacking in the PC gaming community has just always been a problem, hands down, right? And unless you're a hacker, you do not agree with it. Right, unless you're a hacker. I saw something incredible in the last 3 days since the server slam opened. And you know this is how the mindset is just totally fucked. I can come into Marathon and I can assume less than 5% of the interactions I have and less than 5% of the games I play, right, matches, interactions, whatever, there's going to be a cheater, right? I love that. There's only one other game like that, okay? So hands down, I will be playing Marathon just because of that, right? If you're playing a game, and let's say you get to the point to where you're half the time, 50% of the time, you don't know if the interaction you just had with that other person was genuine, it was authentic, and you've, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, was that like just a nice shot? Or like, you know, are they cheating? And you're sitting there and you're wondering, and at least half the time you are playing, you are wondering that, it's no longer worth playing anymore, right? Because you no longer know what is actually a genuine interaction with another player and if it's real. And then you get to the point where now you just think every single person's cheating, right? And then it's like, oh, there's a huge cheater problem, right? Some games are a huge cheater problem, and it's not just like, oh, it's a skill issue, right? It's very real. But if 50% of the time you are spending playing video games, you're wondering if that was authentic or not, it's not worth playing anymore. If I can sit here and hands down, I can come to Marathon and be like, yes, less than 5% of the time there's going to be a cheater, boom, I'm playing that shit, right? You do not take Marathon away from the gaming community, right? People need this. Just because you don't enjoy it doesn't mean you have to shit on it. You just move on, you go do your own thing, you go play what you want to play. If there's a game for you, you go play that, right? It might not be for everyone else, right? I could sit here and say, yeah, Hunt Showdown. I think that if you're going to sit in a house for 45 minutes and patience check me, and I lose the patience check, and I push into a situation that's shit for me, and all you're doing is you just sat in there waiting for 45 minutes, and that was your game, and you really liked that, and it was so fun, man, it was so fucking cool, I fucking did it, right? I'm going to shit on it, right? That's dog shit, right? That's what's going to happen. But I move on, right? I'm going to tell that individual, yeah, it's fucking trash gameplay, and I move on, right? You don't just try and destroy the game. You don't be like, oh, this, you know, this girl or this guy didn't want to be with me, so now I'm going to ruin their life, right? And I'm going to take it from everybody else so no one else can enjoy their time, right? Same thing that's happening here. There's a group of people enjoying Marathon. There's a group that isn't. The group that isn't is wondering, why am I not enjoying Marathon and everyone else is? I'm going to hop in that group and I'm going to just shit all over the game and try and ruin it and then be like, oh, look at what I said, guys. Yeah, you know, Bungie did die. Oh, yeah, you know, I was right. Shut the fuck up, right? No one cares. It doesn't matter, right? Just move on. Just move on. When it comes down to it is Bungie has stellar gunplay, Best in the fucking business. Gunplay that doesn't exist anymore. Right? That's what matters. This gunplay is a stellar. 5% of the time there might be a hacker, might be a cheater, probably less, right? Boom, that means it's authentic gameplay that we know. And people don't like that because then they realize they're dog shit at video games. They're just like, I can't handle it. Why can't I play it? I must be dog shit. I can't handle that. I'm gonna go play a PvE game and I'm gonna just tell myself, yeah, 80% of them are cheating. Because people don't want to accept that they are just dog shit at video games. So then they're just like, I'm gonna take it on the game devs because this isn't the game that I expected or wanted. And I know this, right? Because, let this sit in. The last 2-3 days with the server slam starting, I have now seen multiple times people say, you know this game is dog shit because there are no cheaters. Let that sit in. You know this game is dog shit because there are no cheaters. For 14 years now, 12 years, 14 years, across the board, everyone has had an issue with cheaters. But now, just to rationalize the massive benefits of not having any cheaters when there has been a massive issue with arc raiders and cheaters, but then now we have an answer, right? It means that the game is dog shit. How does that make any sense, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It means the individuals that are just being, the ones that are complaining, the ones that are the loudest voices right now, I really hope Bungie doesn't listen to them, right? Don't try and cater to too many groups at once. Just do your thing, stay on track with your vision and what it is that you want, and just don't listen to that shit, right? Halo was amazing, right? Destiny was amazing. It just comes down to is that the vision is there, and you're gonna have your group that plays, right? The dad gamers playing Unk Raiders, right? They're gonna go back to Unk Raiders, and that'll be fine, right? But it's not gonna be until after they shit on Marathon. And I think that there's a huge thing that could occur here with the bigger streamers, right? The big streamers. You guys have this churning point that could occur in the industry, right? A lot of games just dying constantly. And it's just because of the player base and the community. Not even the player base, because they're not playing the game. Just the community itself that's just sitting there, that's just like, I'm gonna watch streams, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna type in the chat, and I'm just gonna sit here and be miserable and shit all over this game. And you know, when your viewer count drops, or you have people that are like, why are we playing Marathon? I don't want to sit here and watch this, right? Just tell them to fuck off. Tell them to go find something else to do, right? Tell them to go watch the game that they want to watch, right? Yeah, there's a big opportunity here, right? A big shift could occur, right? Because 20 years ago, you just dealt with it. You just dealt with it. You didn't get to have this idea or this avenue of being able to just put in all your emotions and all your negative emotions and just be able to shit on something, right? And be able to have directed towards like the game developers and the company and the people that are playing the game, right? You only interacted with the people that were in your game at the time, right? What it comes down to is that there's a big moment here, right? Instead of coming home, right, emotionally vomiting all over your family, putting the headset on, ignoring them, and then being like, oh, this isn't the game I wanted, you know, I'm unhappy. I'm gonna shit all over the game devs because I'm unhappy, right? Maybe go and change something else first, right? Maybe just leave the individuals alone that are developing this game and let them do their thing. Don't be saying, Bungie's dead, the game's shit because there's no cheaters, these are all these issues and problems and blah blah blah, right? The PvE has to be hard, right? Otherwise it's just fodder and it's there for no reason. And then at that point you should just remove it, and there should be no PvE because it's just fodder. There's no problem, right? The problem is, get better at video games, right? And stop directing all of your negative emotions towards individuals that have nothing to do with you, right? You are getting to play a game for free 3 days before release. That doesn't exist. That's never happened before. Getting to play a game for free for multiple days before it releases 2-3 days away, right? The server slam has been amazing, right? There was 0 server issues, there were 0 queues, there were 0 connection problems, right? That's never happened with a server slam before. Arc Raider server slam was dog shit, right? It was terrible, right? It just comes down to is that here, right? And that was with a smaller group too, with keys. Let's be honest, that was with keys only. So what it comes down to is that there's a game here, right, that could potentially be what a large percentage of individuals are looking for and wanting, right? But if it's not what you're wanting, you just move on. You just shut the fuck up and you move on. You just deal with it. Right? Go play something else. It's there. You don't have to just keep spending your time playing this because other people are playing it and being unhappy. Right? That's fucking it's just craziness, right? You're just consistently doing something that you don't enjoy over and over and over because other people are doing it, right? It's just going to make you unhappy. You're going to go insane, right? Just go do something else and go play what you enjoy. Like I said, PvE players, you guys should definitely check out some single player games, right? And get some co-op games, right? Not every game has to be for you, right? Get better at PvP if you do enjoy something, right? Put the time in. I know people get frustrated when they lose, but like that's the idea of being competitive, right? If you enjoy PvP and you're struggling, right? Definitely look into some shit. Just keep practicing, right? It takes time. It takes years, right? Years of practice. There is a game here where people do not get to just throw up their flaws and say, well, yeah, I think that guy was cheating, right? You now have the opportunity here to actually play a game where less than 5% of the time people are going to be cheating, right? What people have been asking for. This is what you want. It's here, right? You just have to put the time in, right? That's all it is. Just put the time in and just handle your emotions better, right? That's all it is. Just handle your emotions better and don't look for some outlet, right? That is the game developers who are just humans as well that are trying to create something, right? Marathon. They recovered, in my opinion. I've never seen a company recover like this. Last year, in my opinion, I just expected them to scrap the program. Any other company would have just scrapped it, right? They would have just scrapped it. They would have been like, yeah, it fell through hard, right? It was just like, we should have just scrapped this. Or they would have just pushed out the exact same shit and then said, deal with it, right? But what happens here, though, is that they recovered, right? Everyone has been excited. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Everybody's been looking forward to this, right? All that is there is negative content and negative issues and problems, and that's all that's being said, right? But there's so much here that is just beyond amazing if you enjoy competitive games. And if you enjoy competitive games and PvP games, this is for you. If you don't, you just move on. It's as simple as that. That's all you have to do. You just move on. Right? You don't have to sit here and just try and treat Bungie devs like total shit and just saying all of these fucking outrageous things to feel better about yourself. Just go find something else to play. It's that fucking simple. Right? The game's amazing. The coloring, the art, the aesthetic, the environment, the gunplay. Can't beat Bungie gunplay. You really can't. Right? The factions are here. Right? Soul of the game is here. Right? As soon as you get that introduction video, I was hooked. As soon as I get the introduction video. Right? When you turn the game on the first time. I hope, personally, for the factions. Right? I think it'd be really cool if like every 10 contracts, they had a more difficult contract that actually like kept the story going with the AI, because of all the videos when you have the introductions to each AI. They're so fucking cool, right? So I hope that like, maybe there'd be something where every 10 contracts there's like an interaction with the AI again and more progression towards the story, not just only the introduction and then here's your missions. Because the AI is really cool. That shit definitely hooked me, right? Gantry all the way, baby. Gantry all the way, right? I think instead of trying to take things away from other people, right, and having there being even less options in the gaming community, right, just move on. It's as simple as that. Right? Peace.